Whether you're a Navy SEAL tactical operator planning your next mission, you're just trying to make sure your family is prepared for an emergency, communications are something you always want to think about, because if you want to get in touch with somebody, you need to be able to get in touch with them. And one of the ways that the preparedness community has addressed that issue for quite a while now has been through the use of these little handheld radios. This is the Baofeng UV-5R, probably the most popular radio in the preparedness community, because it is very, very inexpensive, under 30 bucks, and allows you to transmit and receive on multiple frequencies. There's been a lot of chatter and drama and rumors on the internet lately that these are about to be banned and outlawed. So in this video, we're going to cut through the chatter, cut right to the chase, tell you exactly what's going on with these radios, and why, if you've ever thought about getting some of these, right now might be the time to do it. That's what's coming up next here on Survival on Purpose. Welcome back to Survival on Purpose, your home for information and gear reviews related to camping, survival, and general preparedness for regular folks. My name's Brian. Thanks for joining me. This video is sponsored by my friends at ClickBelt. The ClickBelt I'm wearing today is my 2-ply tactical duty belt, and I've been wearing this for a couple of years. As you can see, it still looks very nice and supports my Glock 19 very well. Click belts are available in a wide range of colors and styles, including custom options, all sewn right here in the USA, featuring genuine Austrian Cobra buckles and a full lifetime warranty. So I encourage you to check out our friends at Click Belt. There'll be a link in the description below. Tell them Brian said hello. So the infamous, ubiquitous Baofeng UV-5R radio. As I said, this is a very, very popular radio. The price of this thing is under 30 bucks. Allows you to transmit on multiple amateur radio bands, FMRS, GMRS, and if you don't know what those are like standard walkie-talkie bands, family radio, one of those blister pack walkie-talkies. They're going to transmit on one of those public bands, or non-licensed bands is what they call them. This also allows you to transmit on licensed bands, which is like for ham radio, as they would say. By the way, by the time you're watching this, I will be a licensed amateur radio operator, hopefully, if I pass the test. And so I'll be taking that test tomorrow after I film this. So if you're interested in learning more about that, hearing more about that, just let me know in the comments. Maybe I'll make a video detailing that process, because since you have to have a license to transmit on some of these frequencies, and I didn't want to be making videos about this radio in the future and breaking the law, so to speak, or at least putting it out there for the world to see that I'm breaking the law, which would be pretty stupid. I decided I'd go ahead and see what it takes to get licensed, and as it turns out, it's not that big a deal. So anyway, I digress. We're talking about this radio, and the reason I decided to make this video is because I bought 6 of these things. I bought a 6-pack, and the reason I bought a 6-pack is because I've seen all this stuff on the internet about these radios about to be illegal in September this year, and they're not going to be able to sell them. You're not going to be able to do this. They're going to be banned. It's going to be illegal to use them, illegal to buy them, all this stuff. So I decided to do a little research. Thought maybe I could provide a little clarity for you if you've been seeing all that stuff, confused about what's going on, and maybe thinking about buying one of these radios. Now, this is not going to be a how-to video on this radio. Maybe if you're interested in that, let me know. I'll make another one. Once I'm licensed, I'll be able to transmit on it and be able to do a little better. But what this is going to be is just talking about kind of why I think this is a cool radio, and mostly explaining the situation with the FCC. So first of all, let me just read you, to cut to the chase right off the bat, instead of opinions and innuendo and rumors, let me read you exactly what it says in an official FCC communication. And I'll put the link in the video description below if you want to check it out for yourself. But this is from a government document, which is actually from almost 2 years ago. But here's what it says. I quote, "Sales of FRS combination radios prohibited. Effective September 30th, 2019, no person shall sell or offer for sale handheld portable radio equipment capable of operating under this subpart," which is the FRS family radio system, "and under any other licensed or licensed by rule radio services in this chapter. Devices may be authorized under this subpart with Part 15 unlicensed equipment authorization." I don't know what that means, but basically what that means is, because this radio is able to transmit and operate on both the FRS family radio system, which is an unlicensed radio system. You don't have to have a license to use it. You can go to Walmart, buy yourself a walkie-talkie, and transmit to your little heart's content. But because it's able to transmit on those channels and licensed only channels, ham radio for lack of a better term, then that means it is not legal. as of September the 30th, which is about 3.5 weeks from now, which means that there's one of two things is going to happen. Either they're going to quit importing these, and they're not going to be able to import them or sell them, or they're going to have to change the programming in them and block out those channels. I don't know which they'll do, but either way, that means you won't be able to have both those things in one device, which is another incidence of government stupidity, in my opinion, because you could have a device which only operates under licensed channels, and you could have an FRS device that you don't need a license for. You could have them right here together in the same, you could probably fit them both in one hand. You just can't have all that on one device. So one person could have them and still be, it's just, that is why government logic is an oxymoron. But anyway, I digress again. So that is the way it was going to work. As of September the 30th, 2019, the way I read that is these are not going to be legal for sale anymore. And so right now on Amazon, you can still get these. I ordered these about 2 weeks ago on Amazon. A 6-pack of these was $200. And the reason I did that is because there's 6 people in my family. So I thought, you know, we can put one of these in every vehicle. And by the way, you do not have to have a license to use this if it is an emergency where life is in danger. So put one of these in each vehicle. And if there's some sort of emergency, and you know what, that doesn't mean the grid has to go down. That could just mean you had a wreck and your cell phone's not working, so or flown out the car or whatever, and you need some help. Then you could use this legally, and it'd be okay. So you know, a lot of people are always looking at doomsday situations, but I'm just saying for everyday things. Sometimes cell phones break, and you might need an emergency contact. And I know everybody's got phones now, but you know, stuff happens, right? So this would work. Now, real quickly, let me tell you what my plan is to use these for my family, because let's be honest about this. First of all, these things don't pick up that great, especially with this little antenna on them. They just don't. I can only pick up, like, let me just show you. Listen to this. So that's a weather channel. I got that. And then I was able to pick up, let's see, one more channel. That's another weather channel. And then this channel, I think, is a local fire department. And occasionally I can pick up something on there. But other than that, I'm really not picking up anything. And it's a 5-watt radio, which is pretty low wattage. It's a short little antenna. So, which is why, by the way, I bought the 6-pack for $200. You can get these for like $30 a piece. So 6 of them would really be $180. But for the $200 package deal, which I'll put a link to that below, you get a longer, twice as long antenna, which is definitely this is the number one thing they say you can do to pick up to help these things work better. You also get an extra battery with each radio, so you get 6 sets of this: an extra battery, an extra long antenna. You get a headphone, earphone, and an external microphone, and you get a car charger and a house charger. It's just a cradle this thing sticks in, and the battery will charge separately in the cradle also. But you also get, and this is what's really, I think, very useful, you get this a genuine Baofeng programming cable. And real quickly, just again, this is not going to be a how-to, but I just want to show you. When you open this thing up on the side, it's got a microphone and a headphone jack. And this cable allows you to plug in here and plug this into your computer, download some free software, and program this thing without having to punch all these buttons on front. And it also allows you to program, you know, to use some preset channels that are in that software, so you don't have to try to figure everything out on your own, which was really helpful to me. So I was able to get all 6 radios programmed to exactly the same frequencies in about 30 minutes once I kind of got everything downloaded and figured out. So that's pretty cool. So anyway, I was going to tell you how I was planning on using these for family emergencies. So if we got 6 radios, we put in a separate channel that we can transmit on for all 6 of them in the same channel. So we know, okay, we go to channel 1, that's our emergency channel. If we're listening, then we can click it and it'll transmit on that channel. We'll all be able to hear it. I did try that out for just a real short second, so don't tell the FCC, but just to make sure that it actually worked. And you could hear test, I just said test from one radio to the other, so that did work. So depending upon the range, it's not going to have a lot of range, but you know, it could give you an opportunity to contact your family or your loved ones in case of emergency when maybe your cell phone's down or something else. So anyway, a lot of other uses. The main thing I want to make on this video is the fact that I decided to really do some research for myself instead of listening to all the drama on the internet And what I found, and what you just heard was, yeah, as of September the 30th, according to the FCC, it's going to be illegal to sell or offer for sale, which means you can't even advertise, or any radio which allows you to transmit on both the FRS and licensed bands, which are like amateur radio bands. So this one does. So even if they change the software, the programming in these things to allow them to block those channels off, that's going to mean that if you buy anything after the September 30th, then theoretically it won't have the same capability as this, and so it won't be as useful. So what's good about this is that if you can go through the channels and just screaming for help until you find somebody, if that's what you had to do. So anyway, that's it. Again, I'll put a link to down to the in the description below, and maybe there'll be one right up here. I don't know. So like I said, now's the time, and for my money, the 6-pack was the best deal because I have 6 people in my family. That may not be best for you, but again, the single radio is like $30. So again, just to be clear, this is not the greatest radio in the world. Nobody says it is, but my understanding is like an actual really good radio, as opposed to this one, like a real good one, it's like a couple of $100 at least, where you can get 6 of these for that. So if you're interested in seeing some more videos about maybe how to use this radio, how I did the programming or whatever, please leave that in the comments below. And also, if you're interested in learning any more or hearing more about the licensing process and my take on that, please leave those comments also. So anyway, I hope this has been helpful. As always, thanks for watching Survival on Purpose. Thanks for subscribing. If you haven't done so, you can fix that by clicking right down there. Be sure and click that little bell that pops up so you don't miss a single video. As a matter of fact, even if you do that, YouTube may not notify you. So what I'd like to invite you to do is to subscribe to my weekly newsletter, where I'm going to be putting a link to all the videos for that week, plus any special deals or offers that I've come across that week, and anything else I think is newsworthy. And you can do that by clicking on the link in the description below, or just by going to survivalonpurpose.com/subscribe. So anyway, I really appreciate your support. Once again, my name's Brian. You're watching Survival on Purpose. Remember, survival is not an accident, so be prepared. I'll see you next time.